Welcome to Jeannie's World. Uh, I just need to talk. The reason of the beeping is my smoke detector is needs a new battery. But anyway, I have found myself alone with just miles. I have friends in the city over, but no way to get there because once again, I'm not driving again. And I went to the doctor yesterday, and I can see myself falling into depression. This I do not want because it causes weight gain. And the last thing I need to do is do weight gain. I'm going to have to find myself more disciplined. And when you get depressed, it's hard to be disciplined. So, one of the things I'm trying to do is empty my house of clutter. I have too much clutter. That cabinet there, I got to clean it out. It's full of paint, paper and paints and things. Paper and paints. Some of the paints aren't even good anymore. I need to paint. I'm not a painter though, but I got some canvases in that closet over there. I need to break them down, and I like painting pictures of trees. You really can't go wrong with trees because trees are so unique and stuff. But one of the reasons I believe that I'm going to start getting depressed is because I'm confined to my home. I have I hadn't told anybody what was going on with me. But on September the 10th, on my way to Texas to help my sister, I fell and I broke my ankle. Ah, when I started my trip, I checked my money, I checked my car, I checked uh, my credit cards. Everybody knew I was leaving, with the exception of my insurance. Who would think to check their insurance when you're just going to go for a 2 week trip? Okay. It was going to take me a couple of days to drive there because I drive slow, and a couple of 3 days to come back, and the time in between to help my sister and perhaps say goodbye to her forever. And I felt it very strongly in my heart that I needed to go because she's my last full sister, and we're up in years. And so if it was going to be my last goodbye because of the circumstances my sister got into, then it, it it was and it wasn't of her making because she loves to unconditionally. Her granddaughter had came into her house and totally trashed it, and she got a visitor, and they said you will. They condemned the house and they kicked everybody out, and they were going to send Earl away because he's handicapped, and the only place they could find for him was in Amarillo or, or Abilene. I always get those two cities mixed up, but either way, it was a place that he did not need to go, and so I did go uh, with the best of intentions in my heart, but with the worst intentions in my heart too. So when I was 8 hours from my destination in Louisiana, I fell down. So I wasn't worried about it. I had insurance, right? So my son came and picked me up in Louisiana with my daughter, and he took me to Copper Coves. And he would have took me to his house, but he lives in a room. He rents a room. He spends all his extra money on his kids, and they're almost grown. My precious little adventurers are now doing their own adventures. But when I got to Copper's Cove, I found I had no insurance. So I kind of jumped to 3 different ERs to make sure nothing was going wrong with my ankle, because nobody would fix it. So I called the insurance, got all the insurance straightened up. So October the 1st, um, I got insurance. And so that was very painful days. And I got a doctor. And then on the 16th, I got surgery. Had to stay bed rest for 2 weeks. I finished that. I went and had the stitches removed. And now it's time to come home. Right? I got places to go, things to do. I'm well. Everything's good. That's what the doctor said. Well, in my mind's eye, I need rehab, physical therapy. Anyway, I'm in communication with my doctor here in Florida. I'm in communication with my insurance agent. I'm in communication with my insurance company. I got an appointment for November 10th to see my doctor. I knew there was nothing he could do because he's not that good anyway. But he's there. And then if I need it, then I got my dermatologist, and I had my eye appointment. There was just things I felt very, very, very confident. So I show up for my doctor's appointment, and she says that they can't see me because they don't have insurance. Well, I've been on the road for 2 days. I have the need that I need medical attention. I had a very strong need that I needed medical attention, to the point that I got crybaby. And it didn't happen. So I worked with the insurance company, found another doctor, because the administrator, she popped off to Miles. And I didn't like their attitude. If I'm working with you, and I told you I changed his insurance, well, if there's a problem, you need to tell me. You don't need to wait till the day of the appointment to tell me, because I wanted to get on into a specialist and, to find out what I need to do. So the insurance company fixes my insurance with another provider, backs it up to November the 1st. So that was very special of the insurance company to do. But the new doctor got contacted first and already checked my eligibility for December, because they hadn't changed it yet. So when I told him I have insurance, everything's good, can we do the date? It was no, 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 just no. I had to wait till December the 8th. So I went to the doctor yesterday. I went to the doctor before because I was having pains in my legs, and he was very ugly, and so was the nurse. They were just really rude to me. They did give me an orthopedic surgeon, which I would try to get on the phone, but that guy, he refused to see me. So yesterday, I went to see my doctor, my new doctor, and I was really dreading it because he was so ugly and rude the first time I met him. He turned out to be very, very nice. Um, because I guess I was doing things right for a change. But what he said, I agree with. Uh, but my next appointment is January 29th. I mean, we're in the 1st of December, 1 week into December. He said I have to stay in my wheelchair until minimum January the 29th. I can't leave my house. I'm fully dependent on Miles. And sometimes I just want to take Miles and just choke him. Donna left for Paraguay. Um, my rabbits are still at Vita's house, and I don't want to get my rabbits back because the room that I keep them in, I can't get into because it's a step down, and I can't put any load bearing weight on my foot. I think I could get away with it, but he said no, and I'm going to listen to the doctor because I plan on living to be 90 at least, and I want a good leg. So that's my story. Uh, and I lost track of Bobby because Bobby changed his name on Facebook. My phone had died when I went with my grandson to Arkansas. Lost all my phone numbers, lost all my pictures. I don't put them in the cloud. They're my pictures. If I'm going to throw them away, I'm just going to delete them. But just the same, I lost everything. And now I've lost Bobby, and I can't find Bobby because he changed. when he was little, he didn't like the name Bobby, so he wanted to change his name. So we did the name change, and the name he chose was Robert, and we just continued calling him Bobby. And this year he decided he's really truly tired of the name Bobby, and with his new acquaintance and friends, he's Rob, but with his family, he's still Bobby. So he changed his name to Rob, and I can't find him on Facebook. So I feel, and day before yesterday was his birthday, and yesterday was his son's birthday, and I feel so sad because I'm missing him. I look for him, but I can't find him. I guess one of these days he'll find me. And the purpose of my videos is to let my children know what I'm doing, how I feel, what I think. And then sometimes I don't say what I think because I am so worried that it'll offend them. But should I really care that I offend them? It's how I feel inside. And that needs to be talked about. That needs to be say, hey mom, you're not feeling right about this. Let's fix it. That's the art of communication is fixing bad thoughts sometimes. Sometimes I have them. Sometimes I feel neglected, and I'm feeling very neglected now. And then Miles, your children, da, 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 da. My children, just like me, they had their own life to live. Yeah, I'm old, but um, I'm capable. I can do things. My eyes give me heck, but this morning I think I could read if I tried because I saw my insulin numbers. And I think the problem since I've been home with my eyes is stress. Since they have their issues, I just gave them more issues because I've been worrying about medical insurance. So anyway, I really wasn't out without medical insurance this time because the insurance company worked with me. It was just the doctors didn't work with me. And then again, I think that there's a purpose that I broke my ankle. There's a purpose that it was delayed for so long and I had to stay in Texas for so long. And Tommy's problem kind of disappeared when she had the burden to take care of me. And everything fell in place, and we had a wonderful time. And uh, then, the things I wanted to talk about the grass. I got home, I had grass in my front yard. I got a little tiny yard that's not worth much, but it's mine. Except the condo association says it's theirs until something goes wrong with it. Then it's mine. Uh, so all the grass is dead in front of my kitchen window, but it looks like a straight line from Sandy's house. All the grass is good. I came home from somewhere. I can't remember where I went. It was probably the store. Could have been a doctor appointment. I don't know. But it was last week, so it wasn't a doctor's appointment. It doesn't matter where I went. I went somewhere. When I came home, the lawn man had weed eaten, and you could see where he had just cut all the grass away and left sand. I'm going, what's going on here? And then I got all my picture albums, and there was pictures I felt that I really really loved that was precious to me because they were I don't have that many pictures of me in my childhood, and they're gone. I put them on top of the box, inside top of the box, and when I opened the top of the box, they weren't there. So um, they just weren't there. And then I'm cleaning my house. I'm getting rid of stuff because I have too much stuff. And it seems like everything in this house is owned by somebody who's dead. I bought it. I inherited it. You know, is that why my grass is dead? Because there's just surrounded by too many death spirits. That's stupid. That's really stupid. But I was feeling it. I was thinking about Bob and I was thinking about Michael. I promised Michael I would sing. And I don't have a good voice, but I'm supposed to sing on the YouTube. But he's gone to his happy hunting grounds and he probably never know that I don't sing. But still yet I promised I would. So I need to. And Bob is gone. And he's been gone since 2010. The TV we bought in 2009, I gave it to Miles yesterday because I don't watch it, because I watch YouTube. I don't watch regular TV. And sometimes I'll fall asleep. And then if you watch YouTube, you know sometimes the volume is loud and sometimes it's not. And anyway, I gave that TV to Bob to Miles yesterday. But then I had, like I had said before, I had packed up a box to send with him to the flea market, and a box of stuff I was going to keep. I just had to find a new place for it. And he left the flea market box and he kept the keeper box. And I'm very angry with him. I am so angry with him. I want to throw him out with the dishwater. Because he took that box. And there were things that he wanted in it. But there were things I wanted in it. And I told him, you took the wrong box. You need to bring that box back. And then he brought back Jahan's letters and he puts them in the car. They don't belong in the car. They belong in that damn box. And then he brought back the envelopes in another box. Well, I've had those envelopes for 12 years. They're not going to go anywhere. I don't need them that much. They're the nice plastic ones that, you can put in the mail and nothing will tear up. The mailman can't tear them up. But it's something I'll probably have for another 12 years. But he took the plot, the I don't know what you'd call it. It's a metal placard that goes on the wall. Very beautiful. It was a wedding present from when I married Saeed. And I've always treasured it. And I had given it to Jahan, but Jahan living in the room, he wants me to keep it. And I told him, I says, well, I'm going to keep it. I says, but when Leah gets her own home, I'm going to give it to Aaliyah. And Miles took it away. And I tell him, Miles, you need to bring it back, what you took. And Miles, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I get up last night because I fall asleep in the chair. And then I wake up in the middle of the night and I went looking for that wall hanging. Miles didn't bring it back. I'm very disappointed in that. He thinks I'm stupid. He thinks I'm forgetful. Maybe I let too many things pass because I am not independent. I am dependent. And that is going to change. I don't know how I'm going to do things, how I'm going to change things. Right now, I am the prisoner of my wheelchair. If I get my wheelchair out of the house, I can run around the yard and torture my non-caring neighbors. But we had a fight. The neighbors and I had a fight 2 years ago. And Miles was my partner in the flea market. Miles was my friend. And we ate supper together. They didn't like his truck. So they caused a lot of problems. So I just didn't associate with the people who signed the petition for Miles to leave. They said he could come see me, but he'd have to park his car 3 blocks down the road. Well, I don't think so. This is my home. He is my guest. So, anyway, when I started to make this video, I had a lot of stuff to say that was just building in my heart. So the thing I think I need to do is talk to you, because I know I'm talking to somebody. I know everybody doesn't listen. The videos were meant for my children, and my children don't watch these videos. I live in the United States. The people in the United Kingdom listen. So welcome, United Kingdom. Uh, but you make me feel safe, and you make me feel needed. You make me feel loved because I have someone to talk to. So I'm just um, gonna have to talk to you more. I like to teach things, but my eyes don't allow me to read things. I'll sit down and I'll make these lesson plans, all everything, and then when I start to make them, I can't read what I wrote. But I'm going to continue to work on that because I'm healed. Life is good. And I have to remember that, and I can't fall into depression. And I love getting my comments. Um, I love my comments. And I love you. I have to do 2 card readings, and I put that off because that was requested of me, because I can't see the details of the cards. But I'm going to do it anyway and just go with the intuition that I got, because basically that's all I do anyway. And I'm not a soothsayer. I just give advice. So I have promised that, and I have to do that. I pulled a card for my sister out of one deck and a card for me. I lost her card, but my card said I need to learn. There's things I need to learn. And then a card fell out of the deck, and I picked it up, and it says, don't let people trigger you. And oh, that week everything seemed to trigger me because I couldn't get the medical care that I needed. But whose fault was it? It was my fault. Because when I went on my trip, I should have checked my policy and called my insurance company and told them that I was going on a trip. You know, I used to just jump in my car and just drive all over the United States. I haven't drove my car in 2 years, so on my birthday, I decided to go see my sister. And I'm glad I did. And whatever lesson God has for me, I think that I was to be humbled. And uh, sometimes the lessons God puts on us are tough. But I think now my lesson is that I've got the medical care that I needed. My ankle has had the surgery that it's needed. It is repair. I am no longer in pain. Um, Now my lesson is to be still and let it heal. because it's going to take a long time for it to heal. And I want to jump up and go to the beach and walk in the sand, and I can't. Can't even roll out of the house. Anyway, always smile. Life is good. No matter what the burdens come our way, there is always a silver lining behind that dark cloud. I love you, and thank you for listening. See you later.